Amen, diba? And the great supper of God, they mix it together as if it's one or interchangeable. But if you look at it, are they the same? Obviously not, right? Okay, how did you know? Because you did your observation. Okay, huwag lang makikinig ng mga kwento-kwento. Alamin nyo. Ano talaga yun nasa word of God? Okay? Alright, so verse 19 to 21. And then, I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies. Okay, now talking about the war. Assembled to war against him who sat upon the horse and against his army. And what happens is that the beast was seized and the false prophet. Okay, here it already describes to us that the second beast is the false prophet. Alright? No doubt about it. Who performed the signs in the presence by which he deceived those who received the mark of the beast and those who worship his image, that these two are thrown now into the lake of fire which burns with brimstone. And the rest of the army with the sword, they will be killed, okay, from the mouth of him who sat upon the horse. And then all the birds were filled with their flesh. Okay? So that's what's going to happen when Jesus Christ comes. It will be a bloody thing, correct? That's why his clothes is what color?
Red.
Red. Why was it red? Because of the blood. Blood of who? Of the unbelievers that he killed. So, diba? If you observe it, then you will understand. Correct? Okay. I'm not interpreting for you. I'm just letting you interpret what you know. Okay? Now, chapter 21. We're done with this. 20. 20 muna. Okay. So, 20 starts with the angel coming down from heaven. Alright? And what did he do? He has a chain. Alright? And chained the dragon and bound him and throw him down into the what? Abyss. Okay? And then, why did the angel do that? Verse 3 tells us the reason. So that, alright? Every time you see so that, it's like for, okay? So that the dragon should not deceive the nations any longer. Alright? For how long will he be the beast? For 1,000 years. Okay? Then after the 1,000 years, what will happen to the nations? Released. Okay. Now, very good. Alright? Verse 4. Okay? Verse 4. So, si dragon nasa abyss na. Verse 4 now tells us what? Thrones. Okay? Thrones were set up. Okay? And judgment was given to them. And I saw souls of those who had been beheaded. So this one who were set up, yung mga ano? The faithful ones who were beheaded because of the testimony of Jesus and because of the word of God. And those who had not worshipped the beast of his image. So in other words, these are the tribulation saints. Correct? Yes. Alright? And had not received the mark upon their forehead and upon their hand. And they came to life. So these were beheaded. Of course, they died. And what happened to them? They came to life and reigned with Christ. For how long? For 1,000 years. So the great tribulation saints will be raised up with their heads on now. Yes. Do you think they have their heads on? Yes. Of course. Okay. Alright? And then, kaya pag naputol, kailangan mo na kami paligat yan. Correct? Alright? For 1,000 years. In verse 5, the rest of the dead, there were who died also during the tribulation time. Alright? But those who died, the rest did not come to life until when? After 1,000 years were completed. Alright? And this is called the first resurrection. Blessed and holy is the one who has part in the first resurrection. Okay? And we're over this, the second death has no power. What is the second death? The lake of fire. Okay? But they will be priests of God and of Christ and will reign with him for how long? For 1,000 years. Okay? Kasama ba kaya kayo doon?
Why not?
Yes.
Kasama ba tayo doon? Gusto niyo natin ito kayo sa tribulation? Alright? Do you want to be here during the tribulation and discernment?
Very adventurous.
Alright? I don't know. Pag ako, ayoko. Okay? But we'll see. Let's see. Yes, kasama kaya ako dito. We will know. We will know. Alright? Part 3, part 4. Okay? Verse 7. And when the 1,000 years are completed, what will happen? Satan will be released from his prison.
Go out and
Okay?
deceive the nations.
And
Come out and deceive the nation.
alright, Satan will be released and will come out now to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth. Alright? Gog and Magog, the enemies of God, to gather them together for war. There is again another war. Imagine Jesus Christ has reigned for 1,000 years. During this millennium, there is peace. Alright? And yet, at the end, when Satan comes and deceives, there will be people who will still wage war against the Lord. Alright? The number of them is like the sand of the seashore. Marami ba yung sand?
Yes.
Marami pa rin. Alright? Okay? So what does it show you? The hardness of
Hardness of hearts.
Okay? Is God just in judging?
Yes.
Okay? And they came up on the broad plain of the earth, and they surround the camp of the saints and the beloved city. So they will go around the city, and what will happen?
Fire came down.
Fire will come down. Alright? Fire will come down and devour them. So it will be no contest. No? And the devil who deceived them was thrown into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophets are. Nauna na. Okay, nauna yung dalawa muna. Alright? And they will be tormented for how long? Day and night, forever and ever. Okay, so we know what will happen during the millennial, before millennial, during the millennial, and after the millennial. Yun lang ba? Wala na ba ibang mangyayari? God has revealed us enough for us to understand. God didn't tell us everything. I think it will be information overload. Correct?
Yes.
But God has given us enough for us to know what's going to happen in the future, so you and I may be established in our faith. Okay? Alright, now verse 11. 11 to the end, it talks about the great white throne judgment. Okay? In the great white throne judgment, we see that here the dragon will be finally to the lake of fire. Alright? And in the great white throne judgment, sino-sino ang pandalan doon? Alright? When the great white throne judgment comes, there is a note there. From whose presence earth and heaven, what? So the earth and heaven, this earth and this heaven that we know, one day will be gone. Alright? So are you investing a lot of money here on earth? I would say you better invest more in heaven. Where it
Eternal
will never be
investment.
destroyed. Okay?
Eternal investment.
Yeah, because heaven and earth one day will be gone. And no place was found for them. Verse 12. And I saw the dead. Sinong dead ito? Sino itong mga dead na to? Remember those before the 1,000 years? Yung mga believers, those who were beheaded, were raised up. But the rest of the dead stays after 1,000 years. Correct? Now this time, the great white throne judgment, the dead will be raised. Okay? Alright? So this dead, the great and small standing before the throne. And books were opened, no? Scrolls, no? Books were opened. And another book was opened, which is the book of life. Okay? And the dead were judged for the things which are written in the books according to what? Their deeds. Alright? And the sea gave up the dead which were in it. The death and Hades gave up the dead which were in them. And they were judged, every one of them, according to their